Aloha, my young friends. Mr. Mitchell here, going over writing equations in slope-intercept form. This is some practice for our Designing a Park assignment. I did forget a couple of problems that were supposed to be on that, but that's my mistake. This will help you with some tough stuff. So we're using slope-intercept form, as I had mentioned here, which we've got written out right there, y equals mx plus b. Remember, m is your slope, b is your y-intercept. That's all the time, every day, all day. So let's get rolling here. So slope is m. I recommend on these, label it. This is my m, this is my b. Don't be afraid to do it on all of these. Get that in there. Why not? Okay. Don't need those right now. But let's go in here. So we've got our slope, which is negative 1/3. That goes in for m. We got our y-intercept, which is b. That goes right in there. And then we're just going to put those in. Y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2, and we are all done. So this is the starting point for writing the equation. You know the slope, you know the y-intercept, you can plug them in and get rolling. Okay. Okay, our next set of problems we have here, 5 to 8, a little bit different. You're given the slope, so we're given the slope here. That's our m right there. But we don't have the y-intercept, so we need to find the y-intercept. Once we have the y-intercept, then it's the same as the first ones. This is one step harder than those first 4 problems. So I know that's my slope. I'm going to again use slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. X, y. I like writing out the slope-intercept form. It helps me learn this stuff. Put in your x and y, labeling it, helps me avoid silly mistakes. And since y is 1, I'm going to put that in for y. My slope is m. That's 3/5. X is 5. And I don't know b, that's not a 6, that's a b. Remember what you're doing, they look a lot alike. But we're looking for that y-intercept. Now, fraction multiplication, this is another thing. 3/5 times 5, remember that can be 5 over 1. You can multiply that out as 15 over 5, which gives me 3. Another skill that I recommend learning is reducing. And, I can reduce 5 and 5. That goes to 1 and 1. 3 times 1 would give me 3 over 1, which again is 3 anyways. So you should get 3. And then I'm just going to update this. So this is 1 equals 3 plus b. Use your algebra to solve it. Minus 3. Negative 2 is equal to b. Now I have my slope like I had before. I have my b, my y-intercept. So I'm ready to put it into my slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals 3/5 x minus 2. Now remember, when you get the minus 2 here, you could also write this, that's my answer. I could also write this as y equals 3/5 x plus a negative 2. That's the same thing. That's okay. That's okay. You can't do y equals 3/5 x plus minus 2. That's wrong. Got to have those parentheses there separating the plus and the negative sign. You can't say plus minus because what do you mean? Are you adding? Are you subtracting? Make up your mind, sir. Make up your mind, ma'am. Take care of it there. And don't forget about that one on that. And then the rest of these work the same way. Again, don't forget to check your answers. Look for your mistakes. Don't just change the answer to the right one. What did you do wrong to get the wrong answer? Specifically figure it out. You can't figure it out, mark it, ask in class the next day, whether it's me or another teacher you're working with. Okay, 9 through 12, again, a little bit tougher. One extra set of steps in here you need to do. So here, I'm not given the slope or the y-intercept. I have to find both of them. So we know our slope formula over here, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm just going to pull that over here where we can see it a little bit better. And so I'm going to find my slope for this problem. Again, m, you know what? x1, y1, x2, y2. You can label these either way. If you do x2, y2, x1, y1, you'll get the same thing in the end. I'll show you what happens in the end. So I'm going to use the top one right here. I'm going to use these. And so that's going to give me -2 minus 5 over -2 minus a -1. Notice I used the parentheses. That's going to give me -7 over -1. Don't forget that I got one of these. Just want to fix something before I forget this. Minus a negative goes to plus a positive. And this means in the end, my slope is equal to 7. Now, if I would have turned these around, the only difference if I would have used these down here, I'll make those gold, I would have gotten 7 over 1, which gives me 7. You just get the opposite signs, end up with the same answer, no big deal. Now, I can use either one of these points. You know what? I'm going to use this as my x and y. I could use either one. Y -2, because same number, I can't screw it up. Or it's harder to screw it up. So again, I got my y equals mx plus b. So that's going to be -2 equals 7 times -2 plus b. -2 equals -14 plus b. Do my algebra, plus 14. 12 is equal to b. So now I've got my m, I've got my b, I've got everything I need to write an equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b, y equals 7x plus 12. And I should probably check this to make sure I did it right. I forgot to check my first two. And so let's check those. And remember, this is what you're supposed to do when you check it. I got my answers on here. I post them, -1/3 x plus 2. That looks right. I don't see the check mark in color. Doesn't count as corrected. 3/5 x minus 2 for number 5. 3/5 x minus 2. That one looks good. Got my check mark on it. 7x plus 12 for number 9. 7x plus 12. That looks good. Give the seal of approval. We're doing awesome. I hope you're doing just as well and that this is making sense. And I hope you've changed those closed captionings if you prefer a language other than English, because that can help. So now we have writing equations parallel or perpendicular to another line. So like numbers 9 to 12, we got to find our slope, we got to find our y-intercept, and then we write the equation. So on this one, let's go gold. Y equals mx plus b. M is my slope, so m equals -1/4. Now, I want a perp, stands for perpendicular. That means they meet at right angles up there, 90-degree angles. And I really wish they wouldn't abbreviate that for our language learners out there, but we'll get over it here too. Now remember, m perpendicular. That's my symbol for perpendicular. That's what means perpendicular. So I put it with the m, that's perpendicular slope, or the slope that's perpendicular. And we get this, remember, slopes are opposite and reciprocal. Change the sign and flip it over. So if I want to get my opposite here, let's go to orange for that. Opposite is going to go to 1/4, and then the reciprocal is going to go to 4/1, which is just 4. So my perpendicular slope, that just comes over here, that's just going to be 4. Now we just have the previous problems. I'm going to use, this is the slope I'm asked for. It's what I'm going to use the rest of the way. I have my point up here. I have my x and my y. I'm back not in m. Y equals mx plus b. Ooh, same numbers again. That makes it easier. 1, that's the y. Slope is 4 times 1 plus b. 1 equals 4 plus b. Little algebra to solve. 3 is equal, negative 3 is equal to b. So again, I got my slope, I got my y-intercept. I can just plug those into y equals mx plus b and get my equation. So that's going to be y equals 4x minus 3. Circle my answer. I'm going to go down here and check it. Looks good. I'm confident on these kids, but I'm not arrogant. Just because I know I can do it right doesn't mean I assume I'm going to do it right all the time. And so that's what we're doing here. The only thing that's a little different on the parallel ones is, okay, I got to notice that, let's get a new color here. Again, I need to get a parallel slope on these because we got a parallel line requested. So I notice my original, and again, when I just write m, that means that's my original slope. That's 5/2. That's our symbol for parallel. So that would be a parallel slope. Parallel slopes are the same as the original slope, so that's just 5/2. And then it's just back to what we did on these other problems through here. So if you notice these harder problems, we're just adding a step to what you did before. So once you get these first ones, you're doing good. Add, getting, finding the y-intercept. Once you get that, good. Now we get to find the slope, adding these skills, and it's building up what you can do. So, focus on getting those introductory problems, because then all you have to learn is one new thing to get the new problems instead of having to learn the new idea and all the extra stuff. Okay? And then this last one, this is just a review down here. Got to make a quick note. Write the slope-intercept form of the equation of each line. Just reading the directions right there. Let's go orange. We haven't used orange much yet. And so this means just getting it in y equals mx plus b form, or solving it for y. So I'm going to minus 7x minus 7x. Negative 4y equals negative 7x plus 32. Why did I write it like that instead of 32 minus 7x? Well, because it matches this format a little bit better. I got something times x plus a number. That's our slope-intercept form. This one is like b plus mx. That's changing the form, so I like this other one a little better. Make it look more like we have up here a little bit more. Then I have to divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. Remember, negative 4 has to go, these cancel out, it just leaves y. but we've got to reduce -4 into that part there, and I also have to do it into this number, so the -4 is going into both of those. So that's going to give me -7 over -4x plus 32 over -4. And that would just give me, well, negative over negative, or negative divided by negative is positive. So that's just 7/4 x. Positive divided by negative is negative, so that's going to be minus. 32 divided by 4 is 8. So 32 divided by -4, -8. There's my answer. Let's go check it. Looks good. Get my colored pen out, check it right. Did I do that up here? I didn't get my colored pen and check it right. So that's what we're doing here, kids. You can do this stuff. You are totally awesome. Keep up the good work. Thanks for listening. I hope some of this is helping, and have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves a good evening. Have yourselves a good morning. Whatever time of day you happen to be listening at this. Remember, do your best. It's not about being perfect. It's about getting better. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. You've been doing a great job of that in class lately. We'll catch you all later. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.